It stings when someone criticizes you, when they ignore you, when they say something that hurts you or offends you. And before you know it, you are offended. You're hurt, you're angry, you're frustrated, you're upset. You're playing it over and over in your head, wondering, why did they say that? What did I do wrong? But what if I told you it's not really about them? What if the pain is coming from a much deeper place? In this video today, I want to show you how to stop taking things personally by understanding the truth of the matter and understanding the spiritual root of this pain and how we can begin to meet it with presence. When someone says something that hurts, the reaction feels instant. You tense up, your heart races, the mind floods with stories. They don't respect me, they don't see me, they don't like me, they always do this. And usually we tend to believe it. We make the mistake in believing the voice in our head that says these things, that this is about me or it's my fault or whatever. And the moment we believe that, we suffer. The moment we identify with the mind and what the mind's saying, we suffer. The problem is not about them or the other person. It's never about them, but it's our reaction to them or to the situation. When we become too identified with the personal sense of self, with the body, with the mind, with the thoughts in our head, with the emotions, with our personality, with whatever it is that we identify with, we are putting ourselves in a position to experience more pain than necessary. Because when someone says something hurtful to you, when someone ignores you, when someone criticizes you, when someone treats you unfairly, it's not their fault, it's your fault because you are identifying with a false sense of self. You are deceiving yourself in thinking that you are this person. And you're not. And the only way you're going to fully escape from this pain of taking things personally is to accept the truth. And luckily for us, for all of us, the truth sets us free. Because the truth is that you are not this person. You are beyond the personal sense of self. You are not the mind. You are not the thoughts in your head, the emotions you feel and experience on a day-to-day basis. None of that is ultimately you. And the more you buy into that, the more you hold on to this ego, the more you're setting yourself up for suffering and for pain, and it's not necessary. So the essence of spiritual awakening, the core of spiritual awakening, is awakening out of the mind-made sense of self, is awakening out of the person, experiencing yourself as so much more than this limited physical experience. And it's not ultimately you. And we have to fully recognize this as truth. So we have to remember that who we are is beyond this physical person. Who we are is beyond the mind-made sense of self. And when people criticize you, when they hurt you, offend you, or whatever, you have to remember this spiritual truth and you have to start practicing it. And you may not fully escape from pain and suffering right away, but over time you will begin to experience it less when things may not go your way. And this is, again, a great spiritual practice for you to take on, is to start to identify with something beyond this personal sense of self. Because in truth, it's not really who you are. So one of the things you can use as a tool, which I teach on this channel, is presence. And presence, by coming within the body, by stepping out of the mind and putting your awareness just within your hands, within your feet, within your body, anchors you to the present moment. And when you can remember to do that, and when you're rooted in presence and you're taking yourself from here into the body, into presence, you're not going to react to them as much, or at least you're not going to add on to it because your attention is within. Another thing we have to understand is that if you're an illusion, if this personal sense of self is not ultimately real, is not the ultimate truth, then the person saying whatever it is that they're saying is also not the real them. What they're saying is coming from their ego, from the filters of their mind, from the thoughts and emotions they have, that the reality that they're seeing and experiencing, obviously it's different from yours, is just being filtered. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really mean much, because if it's coming from the ego, then ultimately it's, in some ways we could say, completely false. So you have to remember it for you, but also see them. Because if they're not coming from a place of love, from compassion, from acceptance, from good, then it must be coming from something else. And if it isn't good and positive and uplifting, it's coming from the ego. And the ego, again, is the mind-made sense of self, the filter of your mind, the thoughts and the emotions, the personal entity, the personality. These things will all come and go. They will pass. It's not ultimate truth. So don't make the mistake in believing what they're saying, because it's not coming from truth. And also don't make the mistake in believing that you are the person that they're criticizing, because that's on you. And you have the capability to make that switch in your mind. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an empowered spiritual being having a temporarily physical experience in this world. And it's up to you to awaken. It's up to you to take responsibility for how you feel and how you react to certain things. Now, presence, what I talk about a lot in this channel, can also be an anchor in these situations. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how to stay present among difficult people or a challenging situation with a coworker or family member. You can go and watch that one. But bringing yourself into the body and feeling presence within, in the hands and the feet, in the legs, in the body, can help anchor you into the present moment and help you not react to them. So that's another thing you can do, is that when you find yourself in these difficult situations, remember to anchor yourself within the body. Remember to be present. And don't try to prove the other person wrong or try to, make yourself right or whatever it may be that the ego wants, because that's what the ego wants. It always wants to be right. We just let all of that go. And we remind ourselves, is this what they're criticizing me about? Is this the false sense of self that they're seeing? Or is this my real self? And then you can start to, again, bring that into your life. And even in other difficult situations, maybe you feel anxiety or you're stressed or whatever, you can ask yourself this question: is this the false self or is this the real self? And the real self is always calm, present. It is unconditional love. It is here and now. It is beyond the mind. It is beyond emotions. It's beyond feelings and thoughts and the body and the personality. So whenever you are in any state of pain, ask yourself that question. Is this the false self that I'm experiencing, or is this the real self? And then accept the present moment as it is. Come into presence, come into the body. And this will help you in many, if not all, difficult and challenging situations. So I want to give you just a 3-step practice. You can use it anytime when you're upset, when you're triggered, when you're frustrated, when someone criticized you or whatever. This will be helpful. So the first one is just pause and feel. Don't react. The moment you're triggered, pause. Don't even speak. Don't act. Don't do anything irrational. Feel what's happening in your body. Is there tightness? Is there anger? Is there sadness? Bring your attention to the sensation, not the story in your mind. And number 2, witness the voice of the ego. Notice the thoughts that rise up in your mind. Maybe it's something like, they shouldn't have said that, or they don't respect me. Just notice it. Don't engage with it. Again, and this is the false self speaking. It's the ego. It's not really who you are. But awareness is key here, because when we can have more awareness on something and understand what's going on, we're going to less likely fall into reaction with the other person and with ourselves. And number 3, remember the spiritual truth. And the spiritual truth is that, again, who you are is beyond this person. The person saying what they're saying, they're also beyond that person in the filters of their mind. Don't take things personally, because when you do that, you are identifying with the person, which is a mistake. It's a spiritual mistake. It's an error that needs to be corrected in order for you to be more at peace in your life. The truth is that the world is full of people who are unconscious, who are acting from their own pain. And if you react to that pain, you're only going to suffer what they're saying. But if you stay present, you bring in presence and remember these spiritual truths that I'm talking about here, you become the healing. You start to awaken spiritually. And this is not about being passive. It's about being powerful in a deeper way. Not through defending the ego, but embodying stillness, embodying truth. So if this message speaks to you, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I share videos like this every week to help you return to the peace that lives underneath all reaction. So thank you for being here and choosing presence, and I'll see you in the next video.